Hello everybody and welcome to Giants Live. This is Los Angeles, California, where very soon the World's Strongest Man finals are going to be taking place. Now before that, the Giants Live World Tour takes strongmen around the globe in search of glory and action. And today's stop comes from Leeds in England, the Carnegie Stadium, where 8,000 people are packed in to see who can take the title of Europe's Strongest Man. Leeds is a town that loves its sport, and it's the third straight year that Giants Live has come here. The Carnegie Stadium, usually home of course to the rugby league team, here playing host to easily the biggest crowd ever seen at a strongman event. An international lineup has assembled here with on the line not only the title of Europe's Strongest Man, but also the chance to drive away in this chunky 4x4. Now, around these parts, they don't often see bigger men than the Leeds Rhinos, but these competitors are in a different league. 13 strongmen, including 3 guest lifters, who are here just for the opening event. Wait till you get a look at the incredible lineup. Let's join our commentators, Colin Bryce, and first up, Martin Haven.
Well, thank you, James, and what a crowd we've got here in Leeds today. 25-year-old Eddie Hall, Britain's strongest man, is bound to be a crowd favourite. Austria's strongest man is here, Martin Wildauer, and so is Sweden's. That's Johannes Arsho. 46-year-old Mark Felix is the oldest man in the competition. Krzysztof Radziakowski was third in last year's Europe's Strongest Man competition. Graham Hicks may come from Lancashire, but he's still going to get a warm welcome here in Yorkshire. Mikhail Koklyev is a multiple Russian weightlifting champion. And it's Vitautas Lalas's first competition back after a 2-year injury layoff. Lawrence Chalet will be looking for a big home result, and Hafthor Bjornsson comes here as the world's strongest Viking. We've got 3 guests as well, including former strongman deadlift record holder Brian Shaw from the USA. Andy Bolton, the first man to lift 1,000 pounds off the ground, is here. And the ultimate guest for this deadlift world championship, the record holder Benny Magnusson. And the man whose title he took can tell us a little more about this opening event.
So it's really exciting this year as part of Europe's Strongest Man. The first event is a max deadlift. And so they are doing it as the World Strongman Deadlift Championships. And as part of that, they've invited 3 guest lifters, me being one of them, and the other 2 are Benedict Magnusson and Andy Bolton. And with the, as far as the World Strongman Deadlift World Record, I actually took that record from Sejunis in 2013 at World's Strongest Man with 442.5 kilos.
And he got it!
And this year, in March, Benedict Magnusson had a chance to break my record, and so he lifted 445 kilos. So that's what the current strongman deadlift world record is. And basically, I'm coming over here to Europe's Strongest Man to try to get that record back and beat Benedict's mark. So it's going to be pretty exciting. The rest of the European strongmen will then continue with Europe's Strongest Man. So the deadlift is obviously only one event. There's some really good guys coming to Europe's Strongest Man this year. I'm actually really intrigued to watch the rest of that contest and unfold. And, you know, as far as the deadlift goes, I think there's actually probably going to be a couple European guys that are going to mix it up with the guest lifters for that too. Eddie Hall, you know, from what he's been putting out, he's been pulling some really big numbers. Martin Wildauer, you know, he's been putting out some big numbers and, you know, has been known as a phenomenal deadlifter for years. So, you know, it's going to be interesting. It's going to be interesting to see those guys pull and how that contest is going to play out, and then obviously how the rest of Europe's Strongest Man is going to play out.
It was an idea that we had, and we thought, well, why not? Everyone always wonders who's the strongest deadlifter in the world. Is it a powerlifter? Is it a strongman? Is it Benedict Magnusson? Is it Andy Bolton? Is it Brian Shaw? So, you know, we thought, let's put it together, let's find out about it. And I made a few phone calls, and the response was amazing. Everyone, you know, the guys wanted to know, the main people in the world wanted to know as well, not just the fans.
Europe's Strongest Man, and we're kicking it off with the World Deadlift Championships. A simple contest of who can lift the most off the floor, the most basic test of strength, deadlift. And we're going to start at 400 kilograms, 880 pounds, and then we'll go up and try and break the world record. 450, 460 kilos, who knows? Now, one of the men coming in as a guest lifter in this first event is an American. He won't carry on with Europe's strongest man, but actually you're not going to carry on at all, are you, Brian? 2 times world's strongest man. Brian, tell me, you can't take part. You've flown all the way in for this. Why can't you take part in the first event?
Yeah, basically I just tweaked my hip and back a little bit, and you know, I was hoping that it would loosen up and feel okay, and I went and did a couple lifts and warm-ups, and it just didn't feel good. So, you know, instead of coming out here and underperforming, I mean, this is a world-class field of guys, and you know, opening at 400 kilos, how crazy is that, you know? So it's, you know, coming out and risking a really big injury possibly for me, and underperforming, number one, would be the biggest thing that I would be disappointed with. So unfortunately, I'm not going to, but, you know, I'll be here to support the guys, and hopefully if we can do this again, I'll come back healthy and show what I can really do.
Well, 400 kilos starting bar, that's 63 stone. Let's take a look at who went through. Russia's Kaklayev struggled, didn't get the 400 lift that he wanted to get into the competition. Lalas of Lithuania failed at 420, having lifted 400. Rajovsky, the Pole, he also failed the 420 kilo mark. Graham Hicks, he got 400 kilos, didn't get 420, 66 stone, but Janis Arsho did. Swedish record, he then pulled out. Mark Felix got 420, couldn't get 435, nor could Tor Bjornsson. 435 kilos defeated him. Martin Wildauer did manage the weight for a new Austrian record, and that brings us to Britain's strongest man, Eddie Hall. 435 would be a new British record. Come on. He excelled earlier this year in the deadlift. Just look at the bar, look at the grip, and the hand, was that a clean lift? One more go.
Yes, he didn't lock it out. 30 seconds is what the head referee, Magnus Van Magnussen, former world's strongest man winner, is giving these men, so he's got to strap on and go again quickly. He was very close there to getting it.
That was just a fraction away. So often in deadlifting and powerlifting, technique is going to be vital, and now he's got to do it all again. This is to lift a total of 870 kilos in a minute. He gets it. It's a new British record. You can put it down now, Eddie. Eddie
Hall, British record at 435, but he's still holding it. How does that feel?
Feels amazing. They're really easy weight. I'm gonna put it down now.
I'm gonna move out of the way now so you don't get disqualified and I don't get hurt. Eddie, you're now the long press British record holder and the deadlift record holder for the moment. Can you go one step further?
I think because I've had to do that twice, probably not, but I'll tell you what, give me 10 minutes and I'll give it a good bash.
Well, we'll look out for it. Eddie Hall!
I'll give it a bash at 70-odd stone. Eddie Hall does this twice within a minute, locks it out the second time for a clean lift and a new British record. And I don't know whether he's building the crowd or they're building him, but both of them are building Lawrence Chalet. Eddie Hall took away his Britain's Strongest Man title in Doncaster. He's taken away the deadlift record. Chalet has got a point to prove. And one thing you don't want to do is get these men angry. Oh my goodness, straight up. That is great stuff. More tension.
I just can't believe how quick he is off the floor here. There's a lot more there with Chalet for sure.
Well, I don't know how you can make that sort of weight look easy, but he did.
So, after 3 rounds of this World Deadlift Championship, it's currently Martin Wildauer and Brits Eddie Hall and Lawrence Chalet tied with a British record of 435 kilos. But what will happen as we move to a new strongman world record of 446 kilos, the biggest weight ever lifted from the floor? Stay tuned to find out. Welcome back to the Carnegie Stadium in Leeds for the closing stages of this extraordinary World Deadlift Championships. 5 men are left in the competition, and the weight now moves to an unprecedented 446 kilos. That's 981 pounds in old money, or 7 washing machines. With records set to be shattered, here's Martin and Colin.
Well, two of our guest lifters sat out the earlier stages, Benny Magnuson and this man, Andy Bolton. Bolton, the first man in powerlifting to lift 1,000 pounds off the floor. That's 72 stone. That is more than he's going to attempt here, but of course, this is not on a performance stage in perfect conditions. This is in the stadium with wind and not much of a build-up. So Andy Bolton going for 446 kilos, 70 stone, and he's not going to do it, and I think he steps out, and that might be why some of our strongmen have gone through the incremental increases so that you don't go for all or nothing at the final stage you think you can make. Benny Magnuson, this thing with the ears for the Icelander, I'm not quite sure what that does. Maybe that's the equivalent of Eddie Hall's smelling salts, but whatever it is, it gets this man fired up. Colin, the beast could really do it here.
He's got this routine where he stalks up and down beforehand, really gets himself in the zone. Now, he did 445 kilograms for a new strongman world record earlier in the year to extend his own record.
Well, that was indoors in Melbourne. Here he is outdoors in Leeds, and he's going to do it, isn't he? He locks it out. What form! 446 kilos, a new strongman deadlift world record. #1 again.
And you know what? He kept pulling all the way smoothly. There's definitely more there from Magnuson if he needs it.
Astonishing. Well, that has really left the mark for Lawrence Chalet to take on. Did you see how much he weighs? He's not a small man by anybody's standards, Lawrence. 138 kilos. So this is 3 of him, probably, and the kids as well on the bar. Yeah. 446 kilos. This to tie the world record, don't forget. He's going to have to go further if he wants to set a new one.
Oh, goodness. Oh, no. Hopefully it's not an injury and just a bit of cramp.
Well, Lawrence, his continuation in this Leeds event might be under question. Doesn't look comfortable, does he? Well, he is out at 435. The record eludes him.
Lawrence, disappointment. What was the injury there? You felt something pull.
I just tore my lat.
Oh, God, that's awful. Now, are you going to be able to continue with any of the events in the competition?
Probably not, to be honest. It's it completely ripped. I just totally felt it kind of go. It's already starting to hurt, so.
OK, Lawrence, we'll go get that sorted now. Thank you.
Thanks.
Well, they are strong men.
Come on, people, get behind me now, come on!
Let's hear it for Eddie Hall!
Well, he said he was going to have a crack at the world record, 446 kilos. He is the British record holder. He is Britain's strongest man. Can he tie the world record? And if he does, will that content him? I think the answer to that would be no.
Well, after doing 2 reps at the previous weight just a few minutes ago, it somehow seems unlikely he's going to do a world record matching lift here, but Eddie's an amazing man. 70
stone on the bar. Come on, Eddie. This is what they want to see. The British champion gets a clean lift. Eddie, again, you don't have to hold on to it. He's equaled the world record.
I mean, are you kidding me? He lifted that a lot easier than the last weight. I can't believe it. It's like they misloaded the bar.
Well, he only had to do it once. Of course it was easier. He did the other one twice. He's getting used to it now. Eddie Hall, you man. So, 2 men left in it, both record holders. And here we go. There are some serious counting going on there to make sure the weights are right. 461 kilos for Benny Magnuson. And this will be, if he makes it, or indeed if Eddie Hall does, an all-time record in any lifting discipline for weight off the floor. Just where does your mind go faced with this unbelievable amount of weight? 72.5 stone.
But if he gets this off the floor, watch the bend.
Can he keep it rolling up? He can keep it rolling up. It's when it gets above the knees that his incredible strength keeps him going. It's a new world record. It's an all-time record in any lifting discipline. That is quite astonishing.
Big hug off of Thor. Benny Magnusson has done it. Look at this again. He looked like he wasn't going to get it at his knees, and then somehow just kept it moving. It was a 10-second lift. Phenomenal.
Benedict, the greatest lift ever in history. Congratulations. Can you speak to us and just give us a little insight into how you feel to get that record?
What did you say?
We'll get that interview in a minute.
Amazing. History being made. World's best deadlifter ever. Unbelievable.
Well, wherever he went, Benny has not yet come back from it. Can Eddie Hall get to that place as well? Can this Leeds crowd lift him as he tries to lift another record-tying, enormous effort from Eddie Hall?
The 7,000 voices willing him on.
Can he even hear them now? He has got to go somewhere very, very special. 72.5 stone. And he does not want to lift this one twice. This will extend his own British record. This will tie the greatest lift in history. Eddie Hall, it's past his knees. Can he lock it out? Come on, Eddie, it's there. You know it's there. Remarkable. What are we seeing?
Well, he's dropped it. He's dropped it. He was given the down signal, but it's in the rules, you can't drop. Oh, my goodness. Yeah, there's the decision. You must lower it under control. Eddie's not a happy man. I think he got it all the way up. Let's have a look. Was it an accidental drop? It just got stuck in his thighs? No, he does lock that out, absolutely. The hand goes down, but it wasn't under control. Look at the shock. He realizes instantly what he's done.
You know what, guys, in my eyes, that was a world record. I can do a 4.61. I don't give a... I don't give a... Magnus is the strictest ref on the planet, and I'll back that up. So fair dues. Put it there, mate. Thank you very much.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's hear for Eddie Hall.
Incredible scenes there. 3 world records and Benny Magnusson taking the victory. Eddie Hall bitterly disappointed. He had the weight up for all to see, but that will mark the end of his challenge. Here's Colin.
Well, now the deadlift's out the way. The next 5 events for Europe's Strongest Man carries on. With a few injuries, we're down to 6. Super yoke, 1,000 pounds, has to be picked up and carried down a 40-meter course as quickly as possible in 60 seconds. You can put it down as many times as you like. Eddie, I'm afraid you're not going to pick it up at all, are you?
No chance, no, not with my back.
What happened there?
I'm obviously doing that, the world record deadlift. I've just pulled it too much. I mean, I think I pulled it on doing it twice, the 435, so, you know, but I just blocked it out and carried on.
So, just looking to this then, you're going to be sitting from the sidelines. What kind of athlete does well at this?
Someone with an athletic background, rugby. Lawrence Shalley is, you know, perfect for this. You know, just got really good core strength, so I was going to say Lawrence going to probably be number 1 for this one.
A good time, 25 seconds, quicker?
I think Lawrence will be good for... I think Lawrence will do 21.
21 seconds, okay. A proper sprint with 1,000 pounds.
Krzysztof Radziszewski ran down the course in 22.75 seconds. Graham Hicks, 22.81, just a fraction slower. Now we have Johannes Arshaw, the Swede, and Mark Felix from Blackburn, Lancashire, the local boy here, really. I know it's the other side of the Pennines, but I'm sure they'll be cheering him along. And Colin, we talk about running. I mean, they almost literally are breaking into a run. This is more than a trot.
It's outrageous. These guys are as quick laden as unladen. I tell you what, he's going to get close to that 22 seconds.
He's going to be very close indeed, and Felix isn't going to be far away either. 21, and Mark Felix, 24 seconds or so, 21.25 for the Swede. That is a great run. Mark Felix, 24.15. This is insanely fast. Now the Austrian, Martin Wildauer, excelled in the power lift. And Thor Bjornsson almost has to kneel to get under that bar. Just to remind you, 1,000 pounds they're carrying, 72 stone, and they are jogging with it.
Well, it's extraordinary when you say it like that. I tell you what, Bjornsson's going through the gears. Those long legs of his.
Knees are starting to tremble a little. Wildauer is dropping behind, but not by much. Bjornsson is nearly there, 22 seconds and change, and Wildauer under 25. But what is the time? Bjornsson 21.31, Arshaw 21.25, 6/100ths of a second.
Johannes, what a performance. Really, really good time there. Talk us through the race.
It felt very heavy in the beginning and didn't feel like I was moving fast, but apparently it was a good time and it was just really, really heavy the last 10 meters.
Well, great performance. Well done.
Thank you.
So, Johannes Arshaw takes top honours in the yoke, narrowly holding off Thor Bjornsson, with Radziszewski of Poland in third. An excellent time also from Graham Hicks, who continues to impress. Overall, also now a single point ahead of Thor. England's Eddie Hall has retired, and he's not the only one out of the picture. With Lawrence Charley injured, that leaves Mark Felix as England's best-placed contender in fifth. Stay with us for Event 3 in the race to be Europe's strongest man. Welcome back to Giants Live in sunny Yorkshire, where we've come to find Europe's strongest man. Let's join Colin Bryce now with four-time world's strongest man, Magnus Ver Magnusson, to find out what awaits our contenders next.
Event 3 is a real test of shoulder stamina. You have to lift Thor's hammer up with two hands and hold it out at arm's length. It weighs 25 kilograms. Who can hold it the longest? Now, Magnus, tell us through some of the rules of this.
Well, basically, you're going to have to have your arms straight, your bottoms up against the pole. And you cannot lower this too much, then you're done.
Test of strength, test of willpower.
Both, seriously both.
Okay, well, I think a good time here, because it's so strict, will be probably about 40 seconds.
40 seconds, well, Mark Felix got close, 35.1. Martin Wildauer, 20 seconds, holding Thor's hammer. Graham Hicks, got to keep the back straight, got to keep the arms locked, got to keep the pain in the back of your mind. The 35 seconds, the time to beat Colin. Which one of these two is going to come up trumps?
Well, it's got to be Mr. Shoulders himself, Krzysztof Radziszewski. Boulder shoulders, an incredible presser. And of course, has he got an appetite for pain? Hicks has the crowd on his side. 20 seconds has come and gone. All the strain is on your shoulders.
The bar stops you leaning back and taking the weight across your hips. Radziszewski shifted his grip in the first 2 or 3 seconds just to get more comfortable. And Hicks is really hanging in on this one. They have both beaten the time that's been set so far. Radziszewski's going first. Hicks just held on to see him lose it. And he gains the advantage, 44.28. Hicks, 44.78, half a second longer, and that hurt. What about Thor Bjornsson? Might have to invest in some taller poles here, Colin, because he's almost clearing that. Johannes Arsho, the contest leader after 2 events, ahead of Bjornsson. So this is a real grudge match now.
Well, it's kind of in the name, isn't it? Thor's hammer. But actually, this is the event he hates most, Thor. He's got such long arms. It's just biomechanically all against him here.
Well, just occasionally, you can't be greatest at everything, and this is where it all comes home to roost. Already the trembling. The further away from your shoulders you're holding it, the heavier it becomes. Mechanical advantage working against him here. Arsho really hanging on. He wants at least to tie this. He wants to lead Bjornsson in the overall. He's looking at it, it's going down, and that's gone. Referee shakes his head. 37.2 for Arsho. 44.78 for Graham Hicks, the leader. He has passed that. You can put it down any time now. What's he waiting for? The minute? No, for 50 seconds. That'll do nicely. And Thor wins his first event.
And with Thor, he's just asked his position. It was first. Congratulations. Is that more a case of mind over muscle?
Thank you. Yes, it's all about mind. It's about being focused and don't think about the pain. Just keep holding and holding and holding.
Well, a great performance and a great win. Well done.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yes, Thor hammering the rest of the field in that one. Despite having just about the longest arms in the contest, he took event 3 almost comfortably. Another strong showing for England's Graham Hicks as he holds off Radzikovski and Arsho, which means that overall at the halfway stage, Thor now takes a 2-point lead over the Swede, with Hicks moving up into a medal position. He's tied for 3rd now with Krzysztof Radzikovski of Poland. What's up next, Colin?
For one shoulder event to another. This time, they have to pick this circus dumbbell up. It weighs 100 kilograms, about my weight, and then thrust it overhead with one arm, locking out the elbow, and then doing it for as many times as possible in 60 seconds. Now, Terry, over the last few weeks, some of the guys were complaining 100 kilos is too light for us nowadays. What do you think?
I mean, in some competitions it can be too light. I think today after the deadlift and also after the Thor's hammer, their shoulders are going to be so fatigued, and I think this is going to be a really tough event for them. And yeah, I mean, I see the numbers are definitely going to be slightly lower than normal. I mean, I would say perhaps Thor or Johannes would be probably the 2 favourites, but also Hicks, he's got incredibly strong shoulders as well, and so's Krzysztof. So we'll see what happens, and it should be a good event. So yeah, I mean, I'm sure we're going to see a lot of lower numbers than we normally would.
Yeah, probably 60 seconds if they were fresh, 8-9 reps for the best. Here, we might be lucky to get 4 or 5. We're down to 6 competitors. This is a battle of survival as much as anything else.
So how do our competitors fare? Well, Colin, very prophetic. 3 reps for Mark Felix, 2 for Martin Wildauer, who, don't forget, went a long way in the deadlift competition. And all of that muscle fatigue starts to take its toll. Here's our competition leader, Johannes Arsho. Krzysztof Radzikovski alongside him. So the leader so far, Mark Felix, with 3. 60 seconds. Got to lock out that elbow, back down onto the mat. So it's a 3-phase operation. No penalty for dropping it here. Unless it ends up on your toes. Well, they're tied, 2 apiece after a quarter of the time. So are we going to get to 8? It seems unlikely they'll be able to keep it going that long. Krzysztof looks like he's almost out at 3. Johannes, he's going for 4. He's got the lead in this competition at the moment. Tied with Thor. He doesn't want to let it go away. He knows the Man Mountain may have a little extra in the tank, because he was out early from the deadlift. 5 for each of them. Arsho's going for a 6th. I don't think the pole fancied it at all. Oh, doesn't manage to get the elbow locked. So it's 5 apiece. Johannes Arsho and Krzysztof Radzikovski, 5 each. but they are joint leaders.
I think Radzikowski might have done more if his good arm had been better. But this man, nothing wrong with him at the moment.
Question is 5 enough to win it? Will Thorbjornsen or Graham Hicks go further than that? Runner-up in Britain's Strongest Man, Graham Hicks, I'm sure will be trying to match the Icelander, but he's already fumbled and lost control of it once.
He just makes everything look so easy, doesn't he, Thor? Perfectly proportioned, so athletic, because he was a former basketball player for Iceland. Moves so well.
Graham Hicks on 3, and we are 25 seconds in. Bjornsson now up to 5. And of course, he is your classic circus strongman physique. When you see those dumbbells, you think of those cartoon strongmen. He'd love a big top to perform in every day of the week, wouldn't he? He really plays to the crowd. Hicks to 5, so he's tied the leaders, but Bjornsson has blown by them, and he's still got 10 seconds to put in an 8th. He does it. Can Hicks get 6? He does, but Bjornsson conquers them all. His 2nd consecutive win as he does 8 reps.
Yeah, and one of them was with a little pirouette as well. Quite something. Hicks, I think he'd be pretty happy with 6.
Iceland's finest with his 2nd event win, 8 reps there, continuing the Nordic stranglehold on today's event. Hicks of England again scoring strongly with 6 reps, 1 ahead of Johannes Arsho and the Pole Radzikowski. And that means that overall, Thor has increased his lead at the top to 4.5 points. Hicks moving into 3rd place outright, but only 1.5 points ahead of his Polish rival. In front of this massive crowd then at the Carnegie Stadium, it all points to a dramatic finale indeed. 2 events remaining, everything set to play for. Let's join Colin now, who's giving it more than both barrels.
Our penultimate event, an ancient test of strength, stone lifting. Originates in Scotland, where its recorded history is over 1,000 years. 100 kilograms the first one, 20, 40, 60, 80, 200 kilograms the last one. Darren, normally 5 stones up to 180, 6 stones up to 200. Why so difficult?
Well, we just thought we'd go back to basics and get the old way they used to do it in Highland Games with the whiskey barrels. And obviously we're making them a lot heavier. We're going another 20 kilos heavier on the last one and putting 1 extra stone in. So this is really going to test the guys.
Absolutely, and it's yet more strength from the lower back and the hamstrings, and they've been hit hard today.
Well, Austria's Martin Wildauer, so strong in the deadlift, felt the pace, just 1 stone. Radzikowski getting 4, but that still left 2 untouched. 5 stones for Mark Felix, the final one out of his reach. So it's Felix the leader then with 5 stones. Hannes Arsho has just lost the lead in the contest on the last event. Can he take it back from Bjornsson? Could he win in Leeds? Well, the obvious answer from Darren, why is this tougher? Because we're in Yorkshire and everything is harder in Yorkshire. He makes 3 look a breeze, but of course every time he's more fatigued and the stone is yet heavier.
But if he can get this 5th one up, that's a good time, but the big daddy's still to come. 200 kilograms, the heaviest stone ever at a Europe's or a World's Strongest Man competition.
Well, he's playing to the crowd. When they're right beside you like this, why wouldn't you want to? He did the 5 in half of Felix's time, but he can't get that one up. And that has defeated him. He's still got 20 seconds. MC Andy Quinn encouraging him to try again. The Arsho might be saying, hey, you have a go if it's so easy. 5 stones in 22 seconds.
And look at this again. Oh, he's just an inch away before he drove. If he'd have gone a little higher first, he'd have made it.
He needs the extra height that Bjornsson has on his side, and Graham Hicks could do with that as well. See how high those barrels are. They are genuinely chest height. Well, let's see what Hicks can manage. 5 is the mark and 22.61 seconds. So you have to sprint and then hump the stone onto the barrel and then sprint again. And we could again be looking at fractions of a second, because this is a very fast run from Graham Hicks. He really wants this.
Well, this would normally be the last one, number 5, nearly 400 pounds, 180 kilos. Look at the circumference of it.
He's struggling, but it's up there. 30 seconds. That will leave him in second place ahead of Mark Felix. He's not even looking to see where the 6th one is. He's done at 5. One more?
Yeah, you can hear Andy Quinn. He's pushing his luck there, the MC. That's a good run from Hicks. Hopefully someone can do it. And there's only one man left. Surely, the man who won the King of Stones title at the World's Strongest Man contest last year. And that's belly button height.
Yeah, he might have to bend to put these on the barrel. Here comes Torbjornsson. Oh, goodness, this is just... Look at the speed of the man as well. You know, a basketball player in his teens, he still could sidestep half the defense. That's 4 in 14 seconds. He could have a cup of tea. 5 in 20. He's got 40 seconds. He could get the crowd individually to cheer him on, and it would still be there. 27, 6 stones. And that is some kind of epic record performance from Torbjornsson.
He's just Superman, isn't he?
Well, he's taking the cape off. He had that as well when he ripped his shirt.
So you're king of the stones, and you proved why there, completing all 6 stones, the only person to do that. Tell us how different that challenge is to the conventional classic Atlas stones.
It's overall body strength. I am the future of strength, and I am king of the stones! Yeah!
Well, hard to argue with Thor really there. The only man to complete all 6 stones and in a tremendous time of 27.05 seconds. Top 3 again for England's Graham Hicks, who boosts his chances of a podium finish. Bjornsson then strengthening his stranglehold on this competition and looking destined to take the title. Hicks now consolidating his position in 3rd, 3.5 points ahead of Krzysztof Radziszewski. Can Graham hang on? Can anyone challenge Thor? Stay tuned to see who will be crowned Europe's strongest man and drive away in this fancy set of wheels. So, the biggest one-day strongman contest in the world has reached its climax. Who will be Europe's strongest man? Who will pick up the pickup? Let's join Colin.
Last event, and it is the medley. It all comes down to this. Each one of these implements are 125 kilos, the barrels and the sacks. You have to run them 12 meters down the course, each one of them, put them in the back of this pickup, and when the last one's in, slam the tailgate shut, time stops. And Johannes Arsho, you found yourself in 2nd place, still catchable to Thor Bjornsson for Europe's strongest man. Big moment. Can you pull it off?
Everything is possible, you know, in the moment you stop believing, you know, you can might as well stop training and stop competing. So, you know, you have to believe, and I will fight until it's over.
Well, I wish you the best of luck. It's a fantastic achievement. Let's hear for all the athletes. The medley to come.
Mark Felix, 41 seconds to completely load the pickup. I hope its suspension is as strong as these guys. Krzysztof Radziszewski and Graham Hicks now go head-to-head. This is some kind of weird drag race, isn't it, where you've got to just leg it up the course. 125 kilos, the mere 19.5 stone. Those barrels not full of prime Yorkshire ale, they are filled with concrete. And Hicks goes off like a scalded cat. He has got great speed, Colin.
He certainly has, yeah. I thought Radziszewski might be a little bit quicker, but Hicks absolutely has peaked for this competition. I've never seen him in better form.
Well, Hicks with the big bags, and of course those are harder to get a grip on because they squirm around in your hands, but he's a full leg in front. This is a really good run. Mark Felix, 41 seconds. I'm not sure he's going to get there, but this will put him in 2nd place. Oh, he's feeling the pain now. That last nearly 20 stone onto the tailgate. Locked and loaded, 48.62 seconds. And his Polish rival going to be just about under the minute. Yeah, 59.37. That He's really taking it out of himself today.
Hey, look at this, he's grinding to a halt here. I think another sack and he'd have been done.
Next up then, Johannes Arsho and Thor Bjornsson. This is really very straightforward. Arsho has got to destroy the Icelander here. I mean, it's not enough to just beat him by a little. He really has got to grind him into the dirt, and that's going to be tough, Colin.
Yeah, and hope Thor does really badly. Like that's going to happen. This guy can chew the ground up like nobody else. What an athlete. Great start from both, but Thor, just incredible. 180-kilogram man.
Well, that makes the 125 that he's carrying seem relatively sensible. And he legs it back for the third. These bags of sand, there is plenty of weight in there. And again, he is running really well. Under 30 seconds for 3 legs, should be under 40 for 4. And still Mark Felix with the fastest time, 41 seconds. And Bjornsson gets it, but where did he get it shut? Inside 41, certainly, 38.55. And that was with 2 attempts to get the tailgate closed, and the same 3 for Arsho, 49.50.
I think they've got every right to be exhausted. World Deadlift Championships and Europe's Strongest Man all in one day, and somehow this man takes it in his stride.
Fantastic day's entertainment here in Leeds. Confirmation of that final race, 38.55, insane speed from Thor Bjornsson. Graham Hicks taking second ahead of Johannes Arsho. He won Giants Live in Melbourne. He is the world's strongest Viking, and now the biggest title of his career for Thor Bjornsson with victory in Leeds.
Thor, you are Europe's strongest man. How does that feel?
Feels amazing. I'm so pleased, so happy. The crowd has been amazing! Thank you all! Yeah!
Well, this Theatre of Dreams has seen its fair share of drama today. Thor Bjornsson winning, and a great day for Iceland with Benny Magnusson taking that deadlift world record. And Eddie Hall just adding to the excitement. But the strongest Viking on the planet is now Europe's strongest man. Thor Bjornsson takes the trophy, takes the applause, and he also takes the keys to a brand new 4x4 to enjoy back home in Iceland. Is there any stopping him? He is the future of this sport.
Well, that's all then from Europe's Strongest Man. We'll be back soon with more strong